And now, the world's most watched professional wrestling news program, the Pro Wrestling Report.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. Damian Nelson, Meathead, and Frank Cosentino here for the show. You can call us live, folks. The number 276-ESPN, 276-ESPN, or you can call us nationally at 800-990-ESPN. Also join us in the chat room at pwrshow.com and the forum at pwrshow.com. Now that Victory Road is out of the way, let's talk about a little bit of WWE news for this week. And WWE is going to take their WrestleMania 25 tickets on sale on September 20th. WrestleMania is going to be in Houston, Texas, site of this past Sunday's Victory Road pay-per-view. Of course, there will be an internet pre-sale, and we will get you that information when we have it available. We've actually got two huge show announcements coming to the Milwaukee area tonight on 540 ESPN as well. Speaking of shows, Ric Flair is going to be getting his own series on WWE.com. You know the retired Ric Flair?
Yeah,
Who's never going to wrestle again.
Yeah, according to Frank.
I don't think he'll wrestle again.
He tried to a couple weeks ago on Raw.
Well, no, he just took off his jacket and then elbowed it.
That was always so great. When Ric Flair would start elbowing his jacket, I remember there was a Nitro where he was down to his Florida Gator boxers.
Yes!
It looks like the show's going to be called Styling and Profiling with Ric Flair. This was mentioned by the person who runs WWE.com, Joey Styles, just a little while ago. Now we see this along with Santino's Casa. We've got Crime Time. We've got the Dirt Sheet. Lots more online-only offerings from WWE as they attempt to increase that web traffic and bring more viewers to the website, WWE.com. Now, Joey Styles saying he's still very satisfied and happy in his role running WWE.com. For those of you who don't remember, Joey Styles did at one point run the website for ECW and also OneWrestling.com. So now a couple of more opportunities for video on WWE.com and more opportunities for them to make some business. You're one of your favorites, Meathead, Ken Kennedy, Mr.
Kennedy!
He has got a new film coming out, straight to DVD. There's nothing wrong with that. Disney does it all the time.
You don't have to apologize and make excuses for it.
In
Just
the world,
talk about
no, in the world, a lot of people think that if you go straight to DVD, it means it's not good enough for the theaters. Well, you look at the cost to get a movie in the theaters right now and to market it, and this is a very smart option. It's something WWE Films, they said they were going to be doing for future releases anyways. This movie is called Behind Enemy Lines Columbia, which is part of a long series of Behind Enemy Lines movies. And there is a promo, actually, that can be seen not only on Ken Kennedy's site, but on the latest Ric Flair DVD and DVDs released recently by WWE. It is in association with WWE Films, and again, will be out straight to DVD. Ken Kennedy's first acting.
Kennedy!
You think we'll get one of those in the movie? Because, it's obligatory to get a clothesline or a finishing move when a wrestler stars in a movie.
I think about the movie The Rock did when he was in the jungle with Sean William Scott and that whole fight scene they had. I mean, there had to be at least 10 wrestling moves that were in
Oh,
there.
yeah. Well, in this one, he'll probably...
Did you say obligatory?
I said obligatory.
That's his...
I use that.
Nevertheless.
What's wrong with obligatory? Is that, do you not know what it means? Dictionary.com.
Yeah, you're online.
Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling has actually finished filming. It's in post-production now. Here are some of the names of people who are going to be participating in that show.
Bubba the Love Sponge?
Bubba has got to be 600 pounds by now. He's not participating.
Without knowing, can you name 3 of the names? Because Hogan's always got 3 people with him. One of them is...
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
The other is...
That would be...
Come on.
Brian Knobs?
Yes, that's the 4th. There's actually 2 more. Go ahead.
Well, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Eric Bischoff.
Bischoff, okay.
Brian Knobs, and who else did I say? I forgot.
Well,
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Barber, yeah. Those are his friends. They're always with him.
There's some of the people that are going to be appearing.
What about his nephew? What about his nephew Horace?
Speaking of former WCW stars, do you remember Mike Sanders?
Mike Sanders, yeah. Old school Mike Sanders?
Yeah, he's now a stand-up comedian, has a website at MikeSandersComedy.com. Haven't checked it out yet. I mean,
Mike
look it up.
Sanders also.
Dial it up in there.
Mike Sanders also, wasn't he the leader of the Natural Born Thrillers for a minute?
I didn't watch WCW, which is a defunct wrestling organization.
So what you're saying is, even though you're a broadcast journalist, you failed to do your job.
They were on at the same time. It was in the world before DVRs and such. How am I supposed to watch two
It
shows?
was in the world before VCRs.
I didn't have tapes. They were expensive.
What was that address again? MikeSanders.com?
He was on beta.
MikeSandersComedy.com. Rob Van Dam wrestled at the NWE show in Mauritius, I believe that is.
Garcia.
Beating Orlando, of course you would know, Frank. Beating Orlando, Jordan. Remember, that's also the organization that brought back the Ultimate Warrior just a little while ago. RVD lacing up the boots again for an organization overseas.
And by the way, as I'm looking at MikeSandersComedy.com, that is the former leader of the Natural Born Thrillers.
Was it Thrillers or Thrillers?
Thrillers.
Do you think he uses wrestling jokes to start out? Well, last time I was in the ring,
Probably. And
the
they're probably
priest
bad.
and a nun and a...
Yeah. They're probably
And a
really
duck.
bad. Yeah, they're probably really bad. So
If you
don't
haven't
do that
picked it
again.
up yet, the Night of Champions DVD, which is available now, which will be available soon actually, features Jim Ross's farewell address.
Who cares?
A lot of people care. They care enough to make it an extra on the DVD.
Oh, who cares?
Did you hear about the rib when Michael Cole gave his farewell address to SmackDown off air?
No.
JR is sent out and boots him out of the ring. It was almost like 1997 all over again. All he needed was his own desk at ringside with the JR logo instead of the WWE logo. Those were good times.
Good times.
You got your little moose in your hair, got your little narrow butt.
You can say it. It's it's almost
There might be
11
children
o'clock.
listening.
Yeah.
WWE also going to be announcing their second quarter earnings for the year on August 5th. Business has never been better, literally, for WWE, so that should be interesting. Remember S.A. Rios?
Of course, that's how Lita got in.
He might be coming back into WWE. Apparently, they're looking at potentially bringing some new Latin talent in to SmackDown/ECW, since Rey Mysterio is now on Raw.
They can have their own luchadors.
Well, they had Mexicools.
How'd they get to the ring?
That was on a Wandir.
Can you remember all the luchadors?
Yes, I mean the three in Mexicools?
Not in Mexico, but no WCW.
You're talking about WCW? Well, my favorite was La Parca because he was the biggest.
Yeah, it was, and then it was.
He was the chairman.
Silver-
Still to come here on the Pro
Silver
Wrestling
King.
Report on
El
540 ESPN. Beat the Meat coming up
Get it.
next. Your phone calls. You can call in 276-ESPN or 800-990-ESPN. We've also got two big show announcements coming for WWE events coming to the Milwaukee area. And if you haven't already, pick up the Ric Flair DVD. Very well done. It's a must-see. And truly, Frank, makes you appreciate how good wrestling used to be.
Absolutely.
This is
Haven't
the-
had a chance to check out.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. And coming up next, it's Beat the Meat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second hour of Pro Wrestling Report. I am the man they call Meat, along with Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Frank Constantino, Damian Nelson. This may be the greatest second hour of pro wrestling reporting in the history of pro wrestling reporting.
I thought Stevie Ray was here too. Shouldn't I be
And
Stevie Ray?
Flapjack! Slapjack! Flapjack!
This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, Monday night, July the 14th. And we've already gone over Victory Road. We've talked WWE news. Still to come here on this show, it is Beat the Meat,
Giggity!
along with TNA news, Ring of Honor news, two big show
Fantasy
announcements.
roster news as well.
Two big show events coming to the Milwaukee area, only on the Pro Wrestling Report. And let's go right into it. It is our weekly segment that happens after 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock on the East Coast. Beat the Meat.
Damian Nelson, would you like to let us know what Beat the Meat is?
Let
It
us-
just it sounds weird if I present my own.
We give you a
Gimmick.
question. You call in the number 276-ESPN, 276-ESPN or 800-990-ESPN. If you can beat the meat, you get a prize pack this week, including
This week it is a local prize pack. You are going to be going down to the U.S. Bank Championships down at Brown Deer Park, courtesy of Meat and ESPN 540. And 540 ESPN.
yes, that is a excellent prize actually.
It is.
Let's go for it. We've got a caller already from Milwaukee. His name is Anthony. Anthony, are you ready to beat the meat?
Anthony, have you ever beat the meat on the air before?
No.
No? Okay, so you've never beat the meat at all?
Just question. Go with the. Just
He's uncomfortable. I can see through the radio.
You should be.
I can see through the radio. He's starting to blush. Anthony, this isn't going to be a softball question I've been throwing up the last 2 weeks. Anthony, I need you to name the first ever NWA TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Whoa! Question again, please. Anthony, I'm going to give you a chance to get a fair shot here. What's the question
The
again?
first ever NWA TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Not the one that TNA created.
That's all you need to say.
Okay.
Ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding, ding, ding, ding, ding, ding.
Whoa!
Wow.
Well, now.
How about
Hey.
that?
Hey,
What's wrong with
tried-
you,
he
Wally?
tried to trick you.
I was going to say, are you sitting next to your porn loader and you got it right?
It's otherwise
You
known as
are, but
beer.
I'm not mad at you because hold on the line. I'm not mad at you because you use the resources that we all use. But hey, you know what? You had both hands working the keyboard there, so I'm kind of happy. So Anthony, congratulations! You beat the meat. You're going to the U.S. Bank Championship this week down in Brown Deer Park. Stay on the line. Tillman, our producer, is going to get all the information from you.
Okay.
Congratulations!
All right.
That could be one of my favorite segments, even because you always try to trick them, and you just aren't that smart because they always come back. And,
Damon, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna kayfabe for you right here.
Ooh, wait a minute.
I did this for-
Wait. You're not spoiling anything, are you?
No. I did this for Frank once when we did Fantasy Sports, weekly Saturday mornings 9 to 11 here on the station. I make it so the fans can win. You know that, right? It's for the
The
fans.
answer is C.
Yeah, but they gotta think about it a little
It's
bit.
for the fans. I mean, I really made 2 softball questions the first 2 weeks. I made it a little bit harder here, and he,
He didn't want the prize.
well, Anthony, apparently, I guess I'll be going down at a golf event by myself there.
If you do want it, Anthony, call back. We are still looking for your information.
That's right, Hank. Apparently, Anthony took both hands, one hand off of whatever he was doing, the other hand went right to the computer, and he got the answer right. And I'm proud of you, but he doesn't want the prize. He could have gave it to, a friend. He could have sold it. He could have done whatever. But
And no matter what everybody out there can call us, the number is 276-ESPN, locally here in Milwaukee, southeastern Wisconsin as a whole, 414-276-ESPN,
Southeast Wisconsin on the whole?
1-800-990-ESPN. We've also got our chat room wide open. Meathead, what's going on in the chat room right now?
Chat room is blowing up. I'm
PWRshow.com.
sorry, I had to make sure that I had the answer correct too, so I had a different website up as well.
You understand that because we're recording this portion for video and you know the world's going to see it.
Yeah, Mae Young beat the meat last night. What? Belfast Bruiser said Mae Young beat the meat last night.
Yes, and she will probably give birth to a hand as a result.
Oh, gee.
Named Nikki Knuckles. I don't know. I'm reading the board here.
Let's, as Meathead gets caught up with what's going on in the PWR chat room, let's go to TNA news. And Scott D'Amore finally left the company. He was sent off with well wishes, and if he chooses to return, TNA looks as if they would be willing to receive him back.
When was the
We
last
haven't
time
seen
he was
him.
on air?
It's been a long time.
About a minute.
About a minute.
Right, say it.
Scott
Say it.
D'Amore, who used to lead Team Canada, worked with the Knockouts, I believe, as well. Worked as a backstage agent with TNA for quite a while now, gone, and will focus on some other ventures in his own life. Speaking of releases, James Mitchell, also let go by the company, still with 1 year left on his contract. We saw the monster Abyss come back at TNA Victory Road again to save the attack of Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong and Raisha Saeed were taking a little bit of I'm losing the word here, but taking some liberties. There it is, liberties. After the matchup, and Abyss comes out and gives the Black Hole Slam to Raisha Saeed.
You know what? When they do the Black Hole Slam, do you think it'd be appropriate if they played Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun?
I'm not familiar with that
Black
song.
hole sun.
I like the Soundgarden.
Won't you come?
Doug
They should
Williams and Davari expected to remain part of TNA's regular roster. As we talked about, they were part of TNA Victory Road, and that they may indeed be looking at keeping some of those talents around. Good to see Davari, who was underutilized by WWE, get put into a role. And Doug Williams, actually very impressive. Big man.
He did
able
even
to
better
move
when
around.
he was the first African-American quarterback in the Super Bowl.
It's probably two different people.
Really? Because he won it for Washington, I think it was, right?
The TNA Sacrifice 2008 DVD is released tomorrow, and in case you're wondering, Matt Morgan, he's a giant, is going to be debuting on American Gladiators next week, it looks like, July 21st. The name is Beast from the video game.
Okay. Yeah.
From the video game?
Yeah, I know.
Beast?
Yeah, I
I
know.
think it's X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Huh.
didn't know.
What?
You didn't know.
Who?
Oh, you didn't know.
You better call somebody. TNA actually considering holding a pay-per-view internationally. It looks like Canada is going to be the winner.
Are they going to do
Canada,
that?
I think winter. Looks like Canada's going to be the winner right
Is he gonna
outside of
involve
Toronto.
hockey?
They had great success on their Great Britain tour, their tour overseas, so they're going to continue to work internationally. Speaking of which, let's talk about the house they drew for Victory Road in the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Reliant Arena, actually. Very good show. Very
Give
good
a number.
house. I
What's
did
the
not
number?
have a number. I would estimate that, depending on what I know about the venue, it's probably about 5,000 to 6,000 people there. It looked pretty good on TV, so good job TNA for that, and good job expanding internationally on the road. Speaking of expanding, September 5th, New York City. September
York
6th,
City.
Westbury, Long Island. And September 7th in Albany, New York for TNA as well. Bob Ryder apparently is going to be taking over the duties formerly held by Bill Behrens, which is basically handling third-party bookings for talent. Remember, TNA books their talent on any third-party bookings that they would like to do. And Behrens will still work for the NWA, but will remain associated with TNA. TNA still allowing their talents to do other work, and as we saw with the World X Cup and the talents that they brought in, a little bit of an exchange program certainly never hurt anyone. Hermie Sandler has signed a professional services contract with TNA. Terms of the deal are not available. We don't know what it means, aside from Hermie is getting set up.
Bernie is the dentist from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
It's Herbie.
Yeah, thank you, Tillman.
You're thinking Kermit. Kermit the Frog?
Hi-ho.
Hermie is set up to do some race activities in Chicago, in the Chicago area, leading up to Bound for Glory. So all that's been stated publicly as far as his role with the company is that he will have an integral role with Bound for Glory, which, in case you forget, comes to us in October from Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
Off in the States, actually, I believe is where it is. You can call us, folks. The number is 276-ESPN, 276-ESPN, or 800-990-ESPN Media. Let's go back to the chat room. What are the peeps all over the world
They're
talking
upset
about?
that they seem to be thinking that we hate international callers. We don't hate international callers. You got to understand, there's money, money, money.
We need one tonight.
Dollar bill, y'all, when it comes to mailing prizes out. That's
It's their dime, not
Yeah,
ours.
and
We'll mail them overseas.
The prize,
There's nothing wrong with
tonight,
Airmail.
the prize tonight was
Just
a
not to
local
Nigeria.
event ticket. I mean, what do you want me to mail you 2 tickets to a local event?
that. Maybe they'll fly in.
They won't fly in.
To Milwaukee, why not? Come to Festa.
Italiana.
What is Festa, Frank? I've never heard of this Festa.
Chat room.
It's where you eat.
That's what they were talking about in the chat
That's
room.
it?
Well, that's what they were talking about in the chat room. So they're also asking if we are done with TNA.
Because apparently they are.
Yeah.
Yes,
and they
indeed.
keep bringing up Mae Young for some reason.
Let's go to TV this week and talk about WWE Raw. First and foremost, last week, Raw scores a 3.5 rating off of hours of 3.3 and a 3.7, which was the same as the week before. And when we come back, we're going to talk more details about what happened tonight on Raw. Also, we've got a big announcement as to when you can see WWE Raw live in the southeastern Wisconsin area. First you hear about it is right here on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN.